Dunlap to the Seahawks. The Bengals had told him, stay home today so we can discuss your future. Like the writing was probably on the wall after what we saw Sunday following the Bengals' loss to the Browns. Be described as disgruntled.
The Sixers, now in the NBA, are in advanced talks on a deal to hire former Rockets GM Daryl Morey to oversee basketball operations. That, according to our Adrian Wojnarowski, the deal is expected to be finalized in the coming days. Current Sixers GM Elton Brand is expected to stay in his current position. Morey stepped down earlier this month, citing personal reasons and other potential employment. So it appears to me the Sixers, they're going all in.
All in. Weren't they all in already?
Well,
can you help me, by the way?
Yeah.
Mookie Betts.
Hey, you want to know a good way to do this?
No, because it's not hard.
Can you pronounce it? You betcha.
Those are your half-hour headlines. Okay, quick. NFL MVP candidates. Who are they? Russell Wilson, Derrick Henry, Josh Allen. I mean, he was in the conversation for a while. You're going to throw Ryan Tannehill into the conversation in some circles. And if you're going to do that, then this guy needs to be included too. It's Tom Brady. I mean, he's putting up similar numbers compared to the last time he won MVP, which was when he was the young age of 40 back in 2017. And no one has thrown more touchdown passes since week 3 than Brady.
And we're 5-2. I don't think everything's been like perfect out there. You know, we're fighting and clawing for every win. So, you know, we got to obviously take our performance to the next level. And that starts, like I said, in practice. And we got to execute in practice. We got to trust one another. We got to communicate through difficult looks. You know, it's a team that we're playing this week in the Giants that presents a lot of defensive looks, a lot of different fronts. Our identification is very important. They rotate a lot of guys in defensively. There's a lot of different coverage schemes they use. They put a lot of pressure on the offense to communicate well, to make pre-snap decisions, post-snap decisions. And, you know, it's going to be a tough, hard-nosed game. They're very physical. We're going on the road. Monday night game in prime time. We're going to have to be at our best.
Hello now to Ryan Clark. Look, Russell Wilson has been your MVP frontrunner since, week 1 of the season. How much consideration, though, should we be giving to Tom Brady at this point?
Well, I think when you look at Russ losing to the Arizona Cardinals and throwing 3 interceptions in that game, he kind of opens up the door for us to start really, truly talking about other people. And Ryan Tannehill was in this conversation, you know, last week we had that conversation. And so now, obviously, Tom Brady is a part of it. You know, 18-4 when you look at touchdown to interception ratio. And also, he's won the MVP with similar numbers to this. I think the thing that was so crazy early was that Russ was playing at such a high clip. It was hard to include others seriously. But Tom Brady's absolutely a part of that. You know, Josh Allen has fallen off a little bit. So I believe that as the season progresses, as teams continue to play better, Tom Brady will become more and more a part of the talks for his MVP candidacy. And in the end, he may win another.
Let this be your weekly reminder that not only has Russell Wilson never won the MVP, he's actually never received a vote for the MVP. Okay, so the Seahawks this weekend, they take on the 49ers. That defense is 5th best in the NFL. So how do you see that matchup playing out?
Well, listen, first off, it starts with Moonball Russell. And we watched this happen in prime time against the Arizona Cardinals. He's the best deep football thrower in the NFL. So he's going to try to test this defense deep with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. But we know what the San Francisco 49ers do. They stop large plays because they play that cover 3, because they only rush 4. And now that Verrett and Mosley are manning the outside, we've seen this team improve in the last couple of weeks after losing a lot of their key starters early on in the season. I think this is going to be Russell's toughest matchup because he's going to have to continue to play within himself. And if we are going to still let Russ cook, he can allow that to allow the Seattle Seahawks to be burned. And so this is going to be fun to watch because it's going to take patience from Seattle, which we haven't seen this year because they've given up so many points defensively. But Russ is going to have to be under control and make the big plays when they present themselves.
Even if he doesn't have a stranglehold on the MVP conversation anymore, just keep in mind that he does have 22 touchdown passes this season. That's tied for the most through 6 games in NFL history. Ties him with Peyton Manning from 2013. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I think he is the most pure thrower of the football that I've ever seen on the college level. And he just has a unique feel and gift
It's officially Tua time in Miami. White Dolphins fans should be excited about the rookie's starting debut from one lefty.
Which was put into place before this season, expecting these things to happen. And what they do is they look at 2 test positivity rates within the football team. And if those numbers get into the 5 to 7% range, that's when they get into their color-coded chart. The color is red, which means stop. You have to stop practice and competition for at least 7 days until you can reassess the metrics. And remember, any player who tests positive in the Big Ten cannot return any sooner than 21 days. That is because 10 days of isolation as required by the CDC. Paul Chryst has to do the same thing. But then for the players, they have to be cleared by a cardiologist on campus, and then they have a return to play progression, so they're not just thrown in there not having done anything activity-wise. They get them game ready.
All right, so this was the issue. They did not want to have an 8-game schedule, 8 weeks, along with a 9-game against cross-division opponents during the championship weekend you see there on December 19th. So there was no room for error. As a result, Wisconsin-Nebraska is not going to be rescheduled, and Wisconsin's next game is November 7th when they are scheduled to play Purdue.
Here's something that will be long discussed after the World Series bubble has been forgotten, but Kevin Cash pulling Blake Snell in the 6th inning while Snell had been absolutely crushing it. The Dodgers immediately took advantage. They scored 2 runs, and then Mookie Betts, oh my goodness, added some insurance later. Dodgers are World Series champions for the first time since 1988. It's only Betts, Nicole. You can say it right.
With everything that's going on in the world and being able to have a baseball season in general, I don't think there's anything to complain about. We've been in a bubble for almost 4 weeks now, and you know what? It was worth it. We won, and we got to have a baseball season. And, if you told me in April and May that we were going to get to have a baseball season and I was going to get to win a World Series, I would have stayed in a bubble for the whole time to get to do that. It's a crazy feeling to think that after 32 years, the Los Angeles Dodgers have won a World Series, and I got to be a part of it. And for those fans back home, we're just so excited that y'all waited a long time for this, and we're just so happy to get to do this. It's incredible.
This is a cementing of his legacy for Kershaw with this postseason performance. Kershaw became just the 3rd starting pitcher all time to strike out a 1/3 of the batters he faced and then collect 2 wins in the World Series. And in the series, the others all coming in the 60s. You got Bob Gibson with the Cardinals, and then the Dodgers, Sandy Koufax twice. And I get where LeBron James is coming from when he tweeted this. I mean, how cool would it be for a city to host one giant, obnoxious parade with both the Lakers and the Dodgers, because they both won the titles 17 days apart. But see, no, can't do that because it's 2020 and the coronavirus. And you can see also Justin Turner on the field after his positive test, with sometimes the mask just being totally optional.
COVID-19 also getting the Houston Texans, who have closed their facility after a player tested positive for COVID, the team announced Wednesday. Now, it is the Texans' bye week, but the facility is closed. They're doing a deep cleaning, and the team is performing contact tracing.